All right, we're back for day 8. Here we are again. I believe everything is up and working. And get some tunes going. This will be our last day of principal animation, and then hopefully today we can move into compositing. I just have one more shot I gotta get done. I did not go live yesterday because I was Christmas shopping. Had to get some Christmas shopping done. I hope you all have done that too. So we're gonna get right into it. Feel free to join the chat. Might open up the Discord later. See how things go. Maybe.
I love your animations, bro. They're so underrated. They're so funny and relatable.
Oh, thanks, Never Good Minion. Appreciate that, man. Really do.
Yeah, bro. Is there any way I could, I don't know, donate to your thing?
You know what? We're going to be setting up like a subscription thing here soon, and we would love the support. Like, absolutely. I'll let you know when we have that up and running.
Interesting. And it has a great story, especially with the DIC. I hope they can defeat the DIC soon.
Yep, that's me too. We'll see how far it goes. Yeah, today's going to be, I think we're only going to be doing one today, and tomorrow might be our last day doing the live streams. I might be doing it again in a couple months, but thanks for joining, man. Really appreciate it. It's really, really fun having y'all come on. All right, I'm going to get some tunes going. These are Lula Granji tunes that we have stored up on our hard drive. I haven't been playing any of our major songs that we're going to be releasing soon. This is all just stuff that we have ready to actually get recorded and released, and hopefully we'll do that one day. All right, let's do it. Let's go. 2 days ago, we were working on this shot. Our main characters in their living room. They're pretty much doing the same thing this episode as they were the last, because this episode is focused on the characters at the North Pole going in for a rescue mission. So this time they're watching a Christmas Hallmark movie and using the AI security system to rewrite the ending of the movie that they didn't like the ending, so they're changing it again. So we're gonna get a different shot. Gonna get the couch. So I have in Toon Boom here a bunch of different shots for when they're on the couch, when they're on, in different environments here. I think I had a good shot of them sitting here on the couch. We're just gonna redo it. Hornth, we need a front perspective of him. We're gonna get a front perspective of everyone. Let's get rid of all this crud from the last episode. Alright. Well, this might be a slower day. Hiroki and Marshall might join, they might not. We don't know, but feel free to ask any questions, participate. We've been doing a lot of good back and forths here with ideas and things you all can come up with. Very creative audience here. Which makes these very fun. Alright, final day of animation. We're gonna get a Hirobot. Let's see. Sometimes we have DJ from the UK joining. He's a wealth of knowledge about all things animation and film industry stuff, so it's really fun chatting with him. Let's see, we're gonna get these legs up in front. Give him his sitting position. Hirobot this time has sent out the distress signal. We're going to be getting back into his virus that he's creating to take down the DIC in the next episode. This one, he's just sending out a distress signal. He's a little small on that couch. Let's make him bigger. Same with Hornth. And then if we can do it, I'm going to try and do voice acting day, where we actually, I don't know if I can actually get the recording set up to go into Ableton or our digital interface, our DAW, and go to the OBS and Discord. I don't know. I'm going to have to set that up so we can do voice acting day. Because that's usually the most fun in the whole process. Let's get Buck. Get his hat on. So Buck's kind of a difficult character because sometimes he's got his hat, sometimes he's just got different things going for him. So he's going to have... get a seated position for him. So it's going to be more up here. And yeah, if it's a slower day, I'll just open up the Discord and we can just chat online. Whoever wants to join. And yes, Buck is very tall. Lanky, skinny. Somebody said he reminded them of the Scarecrow from, I think it was maybe Alex. He reminds of the Scarecrow from Wizard of Oz. In a different version or something. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna get that hand over the knee. But in case we don't get voice acting day done, I'll just do the voices as I animate these characters right here. Let's get that hand over that knee. Let's get inside. Actually, we're going to do that same position with the other hand. A lot of this is reusing things that you've done. Actually, that looks awkward. I don't like it. Trying reusing things that you already have rigged up so you don't have to draw new stuff. So I'm just trying to find a hand position that looks natural. Alright, that's good. I like the knee. And yeah, that one can work fine. Put that behind. There we go. Let's get his hat on. Buck's hat. We're gonna get Buck's hat on. There we go. In the future, we're probably going to be doing some episodes with his wife, Darla. Get a female character up in this show. It's about time. I mean, we've had female characters, but I usually do the voices for the female characters. And I'm talking about an actual female voice actress with an actual character that's recurring. And Techno Ninja Cat Digitals sent me some stuff. Oh, Beta Game 99. How are you doing? Hello. Welcome to the chat. Where are you from? You an animation person? Like to get to know everybody. All right, let's get him our turtle. Front perspective. Where's that? Yeah, this is getting sloppy. This is my bank. I go back here to get the different perspectives and all the different stuff. Beta says, I like what you create. I'm from the Philippines. Oh, very cool. I just like the variety of where everyone's from. Got UK, Philippines, Peru. It's awesome, awesome. Do you live in the Philippines still? Or are you from there and still live there? Or are you from there and live somewhere else now? Because I think our friend from Peru now lives in the United States, but is from Peru. That is way hard working. Yep. It's fun though. It's hard, but it's worth it. Animation's one of those things, if you ever like put a lot of time and effort into something and then you see it done, it's very satisfying to see like a full episode after putting like 2 weeks into it. And actually, usually I can get these things done within 1 week. Because I've been doing the streaming, I've been just trying to break it up. Usually the 2 days would be 1 day. Alright, let's see. Let's extend this to, let's go. Extend exposure.
I just joined.
Oh, hey DJ, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How's this animation going?
Oh, slow and steady. I was just saying this is probably the final day of principal animation, and then we're going to go into compositing and After Effects. So this will be our last day in Toon Boom, assuming I got everything I need.
So what do you edit in After Effects and anything else, or just After Effects?
I do the compositing in After Effects, and then I do editing in Adobe Premiere. And a lot.
Premiere Pro, yeah.
Yeah. Beta asks, so how many days you just still create? I'm assuming it just means how many days does it take to create. I can usually get these done in like 4 or 5 days. When I'm actually put in like 4 hours a day versus for this live streaming thing, I've just been doing like an hour and a half at a time. So, actually I can get these done pretty quickly. For animation standard, that's quick. for a minute and a half. My episodes are usually under a minute and a half. I've done some that are longer, but for the minute and a half ones, yeah, about 4 or 5 days. Usually 3 to 4 days in actual animation, 1 day for compositing, and then 1 day for editing, voice acting, and sound and stuff. Why is it doing that? Okay.
What's like the longest like production schedule you've had? Time for like having to work on something. It's been like months or weeks or.
For something like my own projects or other projects I've like storyboard.
Just anything. Really.
Usually for my contracts, when I was living in LA, it was usually about 3 months would have been like a solid job for either like a storyboard project or an animation project. Yeah, roughly about 3 months. Sometimes you can get like storyboards down for within a month and a half.
Do you do storyboards, or do you prefer just have it be all scripted? Like, what's your preference? Still do both.
So because I am the animator for this, I don't need to do the storyboards. But if I were to hire other animators to create longer episodes or something, I would definitely storyboard. I just have it in my head, and I don't really need the vision. Like when you're working with a production team, you definitely want to have storyboards. And I've storyboarded for live action stuff too. And every time I did a short film with a buddy of mine, and it was like a psychological horror one, and I was the storyboard artist for it. But then I decided to produce as well, so I helped get things going on that. And I remember on set, just because sometimes when you're a storyboard artist, you're not often on set. But this one I was on set for, and the camera crew and the DP and everyone's just like, thank you for the storyboards. Like, we don't get storyboards a lot for live action stuff. They've kind of, it's not considered old school, but like a lot of directors don't need storyboarders. They're just like, I get to set and I'll see it when I'm there, kind of a thing. And they just kind of coordinate on set in live time to come up with shots. I mean, they might have a shot list, but for live action, storyboarding is not as common as it used to be. But in my experience, every time, people love to have storyboards when you're working with a big team. And then animation is it's the same thing. You need to have storyboards for your team to understand what the scene is and basically what they have to achieve with animation. Even if it's like pretty rudimentary storyboards, if you get to bigger budget films like animation and that kind of stuff, you'll have like, the storyboards are very specific. You'll have basically a lot of your main keyframes storyboarded. So you, like, if the character's throwing a baseball, in the storyboard they'd have the starting position and the ending position within a whole shot. And so the company that does Toon Boom, they have another program called Storyboard Pro.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
I have it, but I don't know if I renewed my license on it. And in that, you can basically create like animatics, and it's really helpful. So you can have a lot more action dictation, and you don't have to like redraw. And then some storyboards I've done completely just scratch by hand for some of the more live action stuff. It was a fun job. Storyboarding is one of those things that I always thought, if became just like that's the rest of my life, I'm a storyboard artist, I'd be perfectly happy. It's a very fun process.
I've never done it before, so I wouldn't know.
It's awesome because you're working directly with the director, and you're basically helping. You're making a comic strip for what the script is. It's really fun. you're translating the writer's words to screen with the director and working like closely with the director. It's a
I do know that some shows just don't have scripts at all, and they are just completely storyboarded.
Yeah, SpongeBob. SpongeBob's like that. I don't know about new SpongeBob, but old SpongeBob was completely written with storyboards.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's
regular
different.
show was that as well. They wouldn't even use storyboard. They'd use post-it notes for regular show.
Did they really?
Yeah, post-it notes.
That's great. Everyone's got it.
I know Smiling Friends is scripted and storyboarded because they were doing a table read of the script, which must mean they must write the script out first and then storyboard it, which is just weird.
That's very weird. I mean, people just have different processes. Like, my process is different than other productions. Like, my scripts are very, like, they change. Like, I mean, that's every production, but I cut and do a lot of that stuff throughout the animation process, and I don't record my voices until the animation's done. So that's usually not the way it goes. It's usually when you have big talent, you're getting them to voice the characters, and the animators go off of that.
I'm assuming what they're doing, like Zach and Michael, the creators, Smiling Friends, they're writing it as they're storyboarding it. They're writing like the script in a screenplay format. I'm guessing that's what you kind of do. Is you have a screenplay format, like you do like interior, exterior.
I do. I mean, when I'm doing something like an actual official script, I actually use Final Draft, and I'll do that. But for my short little episodes, they're just kind of in notes, like. I do interior, exterior, but I wouldn't write it like this if I were handing it off to somebody else. I'd have it in actual Final Draft format for anybody. Anytime you're actually working with a production team, you want it formatted properly. All right, so Hornth goes. Buck starts out not smiling. So you've done, DJ. You were an editing assistant. Was that it for a production company or something?
No. So what happened is I did some training in Toon Boom Harmony for animation studio over here.
Oh.
And then when I did the training, they said to me like, because it was training for animation, but also interviewing for layout. I mean, so when I interviewed for layout, they said, what you want to do is really edit assistant. That's what you want to do.
Oh, got it. And you never ended up going that direction, or?
I'm looking in that direction now.
Oh, cool.
Work in animation, like animatic editing.
Awesome.
After Effects, like Premiere Pro.
I actually really like that. You're essentially the animatic storyboard phase of the process. That's where I've worked too. I really like it. I really like it, actually. It's not as intensive as like doing the physical animation itself, and you get to you're essentially a part of the pre-production people, and it's a very creative environment, not like technical environment.
The one that does fascinate me, because I've heard them talk about it on the podcast, is Aqua Team used to edit it back in the day. The editing of it was more like the directing of it. They literally edit and animate the whole entire thing in After Effects.
Yep.
So the editor of the episode was more like the director. They actually didn't have directors for any of the episodes. It was just edited by, created by, and written by the two guys, Willis and Malera.
That's awesome.
90% of the time it was them who wrote it, and then occasionally, I think it was in season 4 or 5, they'd have like some writers come in and be like, we've got ideas for a script, or we have a script, and then Willis and Malera would take it and just completely rewrite it. So there was an episode called Contact Lens. That's what it was called. There was an episode called Contact Lens, which was written, and they gave it to Willis and Malera, and they completely rewrote it. It's the one where it's Frylock, and he wakes up and he doesn't have his contact lenses because Shake's stolen them, and they're laser lenses, and that's what the episode was called, was Laser Lens. It's just complete chaos. He's got the laser lenses and it's just shooting everyone, and it's just being a pussy.
Aplase says hello in the chat. Hey Aplase, how you doing? Welcome. Good to have you back.
I think there's like a few other episodes. Well, yeah, the there's an episode of Aqua Teen, I forget the name of it, I think it's called Hoppy Bunny or something. And it was originally written by two random people who used to work at like an Apple store or something. And they pitched the episode, were like, this is our script, what are you going to do with it? And they completely rewrote it into an episode about furries. Back in 2009. And then there was another one called She Creature, which is by two animators who also worked as, like, I think it was like hot tub salesmen or something. And they ended up writing the script about hot tubs and a creature in the hot tub. And then Willis and Matt Lalero turned it into a story about the mob, as well as this creature in the hot tub. See, they'll just take other people's work sometimes, but very rarely, and just completely rewrite it. But then eventually they got too many scripts submitted and were like, yeah, we just want to go back to writing scripts ourselves. And just those two guys. I think the Smiling Friend, it's Zach and Michael. I mean, there's another guy called Hans who sometimes comes in and writes scripts, but it's usually just them. Really, it's more for the big animated shows that are out there. The long running ones, like your Gumballs, your SpongeBob, your Simpsons. Like all of those have actual writers, like writers' rooms, so there's multiple different writers.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why when I watch a SpongeBob, I can tell or when I watch a Simpsons episode, I can tell the difference sometimes.
Yes.
I can tell. But someone else wrote this.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know who doesn't? Actually, you know what? The South Park guys, they do it in a way where it's they'll have the boardroom filled with writers, but then Trey actually writes all the scripts himself. So
yeah, no,
they do the idea phase, and then all the actual scripts are penned by him.
Yeah, I've heard that what it's like is just hanging out with friends. Like Bill Hader was one of the writers in quotes. It's just you hanging out with them and like shooting shit. And what will happen is you'll sometimes pitch an idea, and they'll be like, "Oh, that's a good idea."
Mm-hmm.
But the thing with the South Park guys is their whole like style of writing is very, I don't want to say collegey, but basically they learn in college that when you write something, ideally it has to have like, it can't just be and then. It has to be like therefore.
Yeah.
Therefore, but then this. Therefore, and so, but then this happens. Therefore, like a cause and effect kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, they don't like shows or really like writing like focused on gags and jokes. Basically,
Yeah.
That's why we dislike Family Guy, because just a lot of it is like, all it is trying to give you a good laugh rather than be anything like compelling.
Yeah, yeah. But I love Family Guy. It's just different. I love them both, but I do see what they're saying.
They're jealous of Family Guy. They said it was like the Justin Timberlake of animation, where it's like really popular for no reason. It's not that good.
Yeah.
They could do it better.
Alpose says, for the next video on June 11th, will we get packed lunch, do a dinosaur chase scene? I asked because June 11th is the anniversary of Jurassic Park. I mean, we got a dragon, but we never got a dinosaur. There were aliens as well as elves. Yes. Just so everyone knows, I am a diehard from childhood dinosaur fanatic, and of course, I want to do dinosaurs. The thing is those big creature types, if you want them to look good, the animation takes a while on those. So the dragon I only did 2 perspectives on that dragon, which was a front and a back, because it's a really tough rigging job when you're trying to get wings, long tail, like 4 arms, long neck, head, body. It's the big creature stuff. That's why when you see an anime, like I was watching One Piece, and no spoilers, but they're fighting this big dragon, and for some of like the more close-up shots, you can tell it's hand-drawn, but you can tell for like a lot of the longer shots where the dragon because they have all the scales, all these things, and some of the longer shots of the dragon you can tell is a 3D model, and I don't mind that at all. I totally get it, because doing that hand-drawn would be such a pain.
They do the same thing with cars in a lot of
Yeah.
TV shows. I noticed in like Futurama or Family Guy, or even like Venture Brothers, will have like a shot of a car or a ship or something, and it's 3D.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few animes where it actually is a
So-
2D card. It looks really good. Like, it's hard to do cards. in
Actually,
2D.
that's something I'm going to be doing today. I have their house as a 3D model, and
Oh, wow,
I have
nice.
to get a new perspective. I have to get a bird's eye shot of their house for this episode. So I have to go into Maya and export a. So we'll do that today. That'll be something we do. There was this one shot I had way back in the day where I wanted this like sweeping, like sailing over the trees kind of a shot where it lands on their house. And so I did a full 3D model of the environment and everything for their house. I don't mind it at all. Like, the animation, use all the tools you can get. And that's totally why, yeah, cars and things like that will be 3D versus 2D, because you can get a lot done. Yeah, One Piece, again, the ships, the big ships, often are 3D models. Because that's just a lot to draw for every single shot.
I think the first time I noticed it was like Family Guy of the time travel thing.
Yeah.
Time travel episode where they would do like.
Let's see. This isn't the one I'm going to use for it, but this gives I'm pulling up the 3D model of their house. I was developing another show where I was going to do it kind of across. I think I was showing you the Band of Animals show where all the backgrounds were 3D models and the characters were 2D. I was developing a show I was going to make it similar in style to that, but give it the 3D models much more of a cartoon feel. In Maya, you can do cartoon strokes on everything and change the shaders to look as detailed as you want. So, and yeah, even South Park and a lot of those, like, for their intro, you can tell it's a 3D model.
Yeah, you can kind of tell, especially with the newer season, because the original, like first, like I don't know, 10 before they moved to like proper digital, it was kind of like
Yeah.
they originally just used the paper models like the first like episode.
Yeah.
And yeah, they did move to digital, and you can kind of tell they use Maya for the animation.
Yeah.
Especially, if I can tell.
So I did this 3D. So
That looks very South Park. Like
yeah,
50s,
definitely.
but also like a PS2 cutscene, like a really cool,
Yeah.
like one of those licensed games that has outline and everything.
Yep, exactly. But I'm gonna be needing to.
But it works. It's great.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to use. I need a bird's eye. But I don't think I'm gonna use the environment. I think I'm actually just gonna use the house and then do a 2D environment with the trees. You can see this isn't the best layout. I just did it for one shot that I wanted. Oop. All right. So horn. I agree. Robots do. So DJ, you said you are a DJ as well, meaning.
No, it's a joke. That's just a joke.
I was like, I thought it was a joke, and I'm like, wait a minute, is he a DJ named DJ, or is?
No, it's my initials. It's just my initials in reverse.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, it's just my initials in reverse. I couldn't really come up with like a good name other than just my initials in reverse.
Robots. So
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Wait, go off.
What?
Go on.
Oh, I was just gonna say, for my, you don't have to go so detailed with every character motion. I just like to. It gives a lot of life to the animation. So, like, every time they're speaking or something, I try and give them like arm movement, head movement.
Do you do any like close-ups, like anything realistic? Like you zoom into them and it's like realistic?
I did one shot. It's in the where is it?
I've seen people do that in SpongeBob mainly, where they're like a
Yeah,
picture of someone's face and it's like really gross, or even Smiling Friends or Chandler did it.
I did that in the pilot scene. I animated. I didn't go as far as a SpongeBob would, but I wanted this like grotesque shot of Hornth, just like. So yeah, I did one that's kind of like that. Just like get really ugly and close with them.
Yeah, make it like claustrophobic.
Yeah. Robot stick.
But yeah, I was gonna say, because I was talking about like Family Guy and the whole South Park like thing. Try them out, like don't like gags, like throwing out a gag for no reason. It kind of has to have like a story and a point. Which I don't mind.
Yeah.
I feel like something like Aqua Teen is a little bit. I don't want to say it's a little bit better than Family Guy, but there's a little bit more of like it feels like they try harder with the randomness and the weirdness. Like you can't, like no one can really come up with what they come up with. And that's why it's the exception. Whereas Family Guy is just kind of like, yeah, some of the jokes are, some of the cutaways and gags are just random, just for the sake of it. Whereas with Aqua Teen, it's like, it is, but it's so like batshit ridiculous that it roots back to being funny. Cutaway gags.
Just absurdist humor. Yeah.
Yeah, just absurd. It's like Family Guy's cutaway gags will be a pop culture reference or like a joke about like Jews or something, whereas Aqua Teen will have an episode about trolls being shoved up people's asses and that's the plot. Or like a thing that just explodes. And they'll make it like a reoccurring bit sometimes, so it's not just always random as well. Like in one of the, I think it's either season 4 or season 5, they have a character called Wong Burger who shows up multiple times. It's probably the weirdest villain of all time. He's like a dick that tries to steal other people's dicks so he can go back to Dick Planet. And then he's a tooth who tries to steal other people's teeth so he can go to Teeth Planet. And it's just like a running weird joke.
Wait, which show was that? Sorry, I got a little distracted.
It was Aqua Teen.
Oh, Aqua Teen? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they have a character called Wong Burger who just steals people's dicks because he wants to get back to Dick Planet and he's a dick. And then he's a tooth. And he wants to go back to Tough Planet instead. And they keep changing what the character is. The only thing that's consistent is he wants to go back to his planet, which is whatever.
You know, I mean, Rick and Morty went as far as I think you could possibly go with coming up with the most random characters and Mr. Poopy Butthole and
yeah, that whole Total Recall episode.
Yeah,
so great. I like that episode. Yeah, that season 1 and season 2 had some great episodes in it at the time.
All right, we're gonna get this dialogue on him.
But, you know, that's why Aqua Teen's the exception. But Family Guy, I don't want to say it's more frowned upon, but yeah, the jokes feel like they don't take as much effort when they really do. Seth, like, what was the show? He was on the Howard Stern show or something, and they were trying to pressure him into getting into like they were trying to pressure him into like venting about Matt and Trey and like talking about how much he hates them when he really doesn't. Seth's a very chill guy. He's a very chill, likable guy who just like wants to get on with everyone. He said that like he understands their complaint with the show, but that the cutaway gags are like sketch comedy cartoons, like 3-panel cartoons that are really hard to do. And so yeah, I'm not surprised. That's why so many of them, like in the later seasons of Family Guy, don't really work, but it's kind of there.
Wait a minute.
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah, I don't know what exactly they said, but Seth said that like Trey and Matt were like making fun of the writing staff or something, and that's where like he has his limits. Like make fun of Seth, but not the writing staff. Yeah, I agree. Like the writing staff should not really be made fun of, but Seth, he's the guy who made the show. Apparently, when that Family Guy episode came out, the South Park Family Guy episode came out, the King of the Hill staff said you're doing the Lord's work or something like that. You're doing God's work with the Family Guy. And they gave them like flowers, and it's like, yeah, I can see why. Because they really like King of the Hill because it has like actual like proper like emotional stories to it, which Family Guy sometimes has.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you want to laugh, and sometimes you want just some good wholesome entertainment.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
Yeah, you seem more like you're on the like want a laugh side with these like absurdist like characters.
Yeah, I actually I like a mix. I like the I think the perfect blend is what you want. You want the absurdist characters and just like straight laugh episodes, and I don't mind it when you do an episode that's just a little more heartfelt and just, you know, honestly, there's a lot of like they're philosophers of comedy who say basically the story is a story, and every story is a drama and then comedies are just drama stories with comedic elements added, basically. But they're all the same kind of structure, you know.
Yeah, it reminds me. I think his name's John Frizzell, the guy who does the score, the composing for all the Beavis and Butthead films. He said that like he wanted them to be as serious and over the top as possible, like overly serious, so to make it funny. If it was like circus clown music, it just wouldn't be that funny. Whereas it's like the most operatic, like Godzilla music.
Oh yeah, I mean we do the same thing. We have like actual action music. Like this episode is gonna be like an actual action soundtrack with stuff we've composed. Yeah, so this is when we do action episodes like this one, we go full serious back. All the sound effects, all the score, I want it to sound like you're in a big Hollywood action movie. And it makes it funny. It's exactly right.
Yeah, I feel like the people who are lucky is the creators of Metalocalypse, because the brutal metal music already fits like an action scene fairly well.
Yeah.
Like it can be serious but also really cool, so it kind of works anyway.
Sorry,
It's just they have to make so much music for it, which yeah must be both really fun and a challenge.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, they actually got to finish their series, which is great. They actually managed to put out a movie that wraps up the story perfectly.
Yeah.
Like Army of the Doomstar was like perfect. I don't know if it was like my favorite of the films that came out for Adult Swim, but it's like the most like perfect wrap up I could ask for. Whereas the Venture Brothers one is like it's like the Futurama ending where it's like there's more, we'll be back, but I don't know where. It was the best they could do under the circumstances because both shows were cancelled like randomly, pretty much. And the Venture Brothers one had like a whole season 8 they had planned that they had written out, which they never do. They only wrote out season 8 fully because they thought they were going to get renewed again, and they didn't. They took a big gamble and they kind of lost.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the Metalocalypse one, like they had plans for years. They only now, like in 2023, got to do it. And the band is still active, I think, doing tours and stuff. Again, it's not going to come to the UK ever because it's a US band. They're not going to.
Yeah.
I'd love to see them one day. I don't know if you've ever been to a Death Clock concert.
I've never been. I've always wanted to. I almost went to this Adult Swim festival in California when I lived there, but I didn't.
I've heard about the festivals and things. But
yeah.
I've never been.
I wanted to go because Death Clock was playing. I was like, oh, that'd be amazing. Way right to enter. So Horn's mouth is like not the way I usually do mouths. So, for example, Buck, I have all of his mouths in these drawing formation here. So all I have to do is like flip through his various mouth positions. Versus Horn, I like his jaw to be very expressive. Like, rah, 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 you know, with that, just the tonality. And so I actually do his mouth manually just by like moving his jaw up and down like that. And I could actually go in and do the mouth positions and do it the same way I have it for Buck, but I don't know. The way I've been doing it works. So,
Yeah,
robots
makes
stick.
sense.
Rewrite the end too. What's the name of the movie? All right, last chance for everyone to chime in. What's the name of the stupid Hallmark movie that they're watching? I rewrite it the end to, I call it Ho Ho Horse. It's very stupid. To Ho.
Does it have to be like a real Hallmark movie, or can it be like a fake?
I go with fake ones. To Ho. Ho. Rewrite the end to Ho Ho Horse.
Yeah, the one I did want to go see, but the tickets completely sold out for like super fast, was Gorillaz. They had like
I
a
bet.
concert in London. It sold out like immediately. Like I couldn't get any. It was really expensive too. So like yeah, no.
When was that? Was this what?
It was in August of this year.
August.
They had a few concerts. In late August to September, they had the Demon Days one, which I wanted to go to because Demon Days is one of the best albums, and it completely sold out. They had a mystery show, which is where they played some of their new album that's coming out in February, I think. The Mountain, that's what it's called. And then they had another one where they played Plastic Beach, and they all sold out, which is nuts.
Definitely. I've never seen them live, but I've always wanted to.
They do tour in the US like every time a new. They do like a worldwide tour usually when a new album comes out, so they might be there. I don't know when.
I'm a huge fan of pretty much all British prog rock is like one of my all-time favorites. I'm a huge Radiohead and Muse fan, Franz Ferdinand. I love the Gorillaz. And out of all of them, the Gorillaz are just happen to be the one I've missed. I've seen Radiohead, I've seen Muse, I've seen Franz Ferdinand. I haven't seen Arctic Monkeys. I would love to see them.
Yeah, Gorillaz are going to be in LA mostly in February and March. Yeah, just all over LA is what they're doing in March.
Horse on Hallmark.
But yeah, when you said British prog rock, it made me think of Pink Floyd.
Oh, that's my all-time favorite band.
Oh wow, okay, interesting.
Oh,
Yeah,
Alex.
I'm a fan too.
Alex
I'm a fan
Lemons has
too.
arrived. Howdy ho, gang! I've arrived. Hi, Alex. Good to see you. We're on day 8, and probably only 1 or 2 more days after this, and it'll be a very fun month. Sorry, what were you saying there?
I am a fan of Pink Floyd too. Like I know about the history and stuff.
Yeah.
They have a crazy history. Their like peak was in like the mid 70s.
Yeah.
That was when they were at their best. Like from Metal to Animals was like the peak. Metal to the Wall.
I've seen Roger Waters live, but I haven't. Yeah, that was fantastic.
You haven't seen David Gilmour? Yeah, I've
haven't
only
seen
seen the
David
David Gilmour like concert films. I've never seen him live, but he is doing tours and stuff. He
Yeah.
had a new solo album out last year, which I haven't listened to much, but it's supposed to be good.
If anyone ever gets the chance to go see Hans Zimmer live, don't miss the opportunity. It's the most incredible show you'll ever see.
There's a Danny Elfman one that's playing near me in like March or something.
Oh, I would go see that.
He's doing like Batman '89, just the score for that.
Oh, that'd be so incredible. Such a Batman fan. Alex asks, is Hornth bigoted towards dwarves? I think he's indifferent towards dwarves. Hey, he might even have a little dwarf lineage. Alright, we're almost done with Hornth here.
Yeah, no, I really like Pink Floyd. I'm not like into the early or later era like Pink Floyd as much. Like the early stuff is like the Sid Barrett stuff is just really weird, and then the post Waters where he left is decent but not amazing.
Make it
Like
so.
they tried about Roger and they semi-succeeded. Like Momentary Lapse is kind of, and then Division Bell is decent.
All right, so at this point, his dialogue, it trails off, because in this shot, it starts out, you're on Hornth, but then he starts going off, and then we zoom into Harobot as his dialogue just kind of fades into the background, and you don't even know what he's saying. So, make it so, blah, 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 blah.
But yeah, no, I got into Pink Floyd around like 2017, I think, and then like 2019 was when I listened to them a lot because they had new like reissues of all their albums coming out.
Oh,
They put one out recently for Wish You Were Here. It just came out. And it's really good, like a really good reissue.
I actually like listening to their live albums the best.
Oh, like Pulse.
Pulse, Live at Pompeii. Yeah, they're live. So good live.
There was the Pompeii film. It got remastered and re-released this year. It was so good. The remaster.
Oh, that'd be so good. They are true, and it's like they're the only band I can think of that like truly significantly changed the face of like audio engineering and what was possible with like merging rock with like digital synth stuff. I'm for without Pink Floyd, our band wouldn't exist because we do a lot.
What would you say is like your favorite era? I like early Floyd, but yeah, my favorite era is like middle Floyd, like metal to the wall. Floyd is
yeah,
like, later years Floyd is
definitely
like, okay.
middle is 100%. Yep.
I will say Sid Barrett was a madman.
Yeah.
He's a genius, an absolute genius who like. I don't know if you know about the story of Sid Barrett and what happened to him.
Yes, I do. Shine on, you crazy diamond.
And the Wall movie is like based on him. It's a masterpiece. The Wall movie is amazing.
Alex says that would explain his boxy physique and short legs. Yes, orc, kobold, troll, or dwarf. He really is a European fantasy muff, or mutt. Might even be some unicorn in there. Yep, he's a mutt. Alright, that's good enough for Hornth. Let's go to Buck.
And yeah, the later year stuff, like Momentary Lapse, they really tried about Roger. It was, again, I like Roger as like a lyricist, and his music is fine, but yeah, as a person, he's not been good recently.
He's always been kind of a cocky guy, kind of a dick.
Yeah, last year he put out a redux of Dark Side of the Moon, where he basically said that he wrote most of the album, and it's like a weird Lennon Cohen like spoken word album, and it's supposed to be that way because he's now like in his 80s and he's like approaching death potentially. And I see what he tried to do, with like reframing the album about like getting old, and it being this weird Leonard Cohen like spoken word, but just removing the guitar solos and just like ignoring the music is no. It'd be like if you remove the lyrics, you just can't. You can't remove any of it. It's just all so good. And yeah, him saying that he wrote most of it is not true.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, in the later years, he tried to sue the band as well, which he regrets, which I understand.
But I couldn't help but see him live because it's like the only time I've gotten a chance to see anything Pink Floyd live. So I was like, if David Gilmour was coming, I would be going to see David Gilmour.
There's one in the UK as well. Nick Mason, the drummer, he has his own band called Saucer Full of Secrets, like a tribute band.
All right.
He still plays early Floyd. I'd love to go see that. And then near where I live in the UK, actually, every single year, Nick Mason has a car show where he'll show off all of his cars that he owns. And he'll donate money to charity, and you can actually meet him and get your stuff like signed. It's really crazy.
That's great.
And like, yeah, it's his like house that he owns, like a giant mansion, and it's his garden. He's got like a car like had the wall logo on it, and he has like a big studio of like his children's art that they paint, and like a poster of like I think it's Pulse. He's got a poster of in there. Yeah, I might go again this year because I went again. I went last year. It was crazy.
Sounds amazing. Here, hold up.
I mean, it's just a bunch of cars. If you like cars, you're like, yeah.
Yeah. Here, I gotta do a quick test. I agree. I agree. Robot Stick, rewrite the end to Ho Ho Horse on Hallmark Channel. Make it so blah 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 blah. Alright, cool. We're good. I'm done with horn.
But yeah, I've never seen any of them live. I've seen like tribute bands and things like that. So yeah, you're lucky to see Roger Waters. I would love to see him anyway.
I got really lucky. So I went to this one festival. It's down in Indio, California. It's where the same site where they hold Coachella, but it was like all like rock. It was all rock gods basically. It was Roger Waters, Rolling Stones, Neil Young, The Who, and I got to see all of them in one festival. It was incredible.
Oh my god, yeah, it's nuts.
It was amazing. And honestly, there was one year I actually did go to Coachella because Hans Zimmer and Radiohead were playing. So I got to see Hans Zimmer and Radiohead at Coachella one time. It was the best.
I did see, last year, David Gilmour was touring in the UK for his new solo album, and yeah, if he ever does tour again, I'd go see him.
Yeah.
I saw, like, his live film, like his live in Pompeii. I think he did live at Circus Maximus or something recently, and yeah, it's all very good. Again, the solo and company number is, like, incredible. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
And then the lyrics are all, like, Roger's lyrics are, There was a thing that happened. Yeah, there was a thing that happened recently when Roger Waters like brought up Ozzy Osbourne and started a dispute with him, which is interesting.
Some people just like to scrap, man.
Yeah, he was in an interview or something. And he was talking about like it was about like celebrity deaths and how he focused too much on celebrity deaths, and he was like, everyone's focusing too much on Ozzy Osbourne. He passed away recently, bless him.
Yeah.
I was never a big fan of him. He used to bite the head off bats, is what Roger said. And it was like, it's true, but the man just died, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was the wife of Ozzy, Sharon. She now put out a T-shirt called "Another Prick in the Wall."
Oh.
Which she's selling to start a dispute with Roger, and the son of Ozzy called out Roger as well and said he was always an asshole. Which I mean,
I've heard that
crazy,
from
but
multiple accounts that Roger's a bit of an ass.
you're not wrong, but also don't. I wouldn't want to start a dispute.
Yeah, exactly.
And then David Gilmour was asked about it too, like, what do you think of Ozzy passing away? And he was like, oh, he's a legend. I never knew him, but which is a much better response.
Yeah.
But David Gilmour's a little bit weird too. They had like a reissue of Animals that came out, and for the reissue of Animals, he didn't want any notes on like the vinyl or anything about the history of the album. It was like, Pink Floyd should remain mysterious. Like, Roger should not put these notes out on the vinyl. And I'm like, everyone knows Pink Floyd, dude. Like, no one thinks it's mysterious anymore. So, yeah, David Gilmour as well. Later on, when the band was like struggling, he would have demos and things, but they weren't good enough for Roger. And sometimes he was a little bit lazy as well. And then with Momentary Lapse of Reason, I think Division Bell, a lot of it was him doing it. Momentary Lapse especially. There was for Momentary Lapse, there was like a remix of it where they went back in and made it less 80s sounding. Like they got the drums and redid them with Nick Mason actually playing drums. They like added in reverb and stuff. They removed reverb and added in like more like normal sounding like vocals that weren't like as electronic. Because yeah, Momentary Lapse is very 80s. Like I like it for being very 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only Floyd album that sounds like of its time. And yeah, they made a 2019 remix that like just like completely like removed the 80s part of it, which is cool. It makes it sound more listenable, I guess. If you don't like, I don't know if you like 80s production. Like
I do.
reverb and stuff.
I actually do. There's a lot of good 80s rock that I like. I even had a Motley Crue phase way back in the day. Just screw it. I mean, I like Guns N' Roses.
That's what I'm thinking of is hair metal. That's what Momentary Lapse of Reason gets called, is hair metal. It sounds like Def Leppard or like really cheesy
Yeah.
80s. It sounds like 80s cop music. That's what Momentary Lapse
Yeah.
of Reason sometimes sounds like.
I honestly, a lot of AC/DC released their best stuff in the 80s. A lot of good stuff in the 80s. Not their best stuff.
And a lot of like prog rock was not like. I heard like Yes though during the 80s was absolutely fire. Like Yes, that was some good albums. Yeah, I'm not a huge prog. I know Pink Floyd.
Yeah, are you talking about Yes the band? Yes?
Yeah, I heard
I
that,
love
like, they put out
Yes.
some. I heard they put out some like of their best stuff in the 80s. But
Yeah.
I never really got into it.
I love Yes. I've seen them live. They're incredible. Alex says, "What does Herobot think of RoboCop?" And you know what? I think RoboCop is RoboCop a cyborg or a regular robot? He's a cyborg, right?
So I'm gonna Google it now.
Because if he is a cyborg, they're just kindred spirits, and Herobot feels like a definitely a connection with RoboCop.
He's a cyborg. He's part human, part
Yeah,
robot.
yeah, that's right. All right, and then Alex also asks, I think it would be hilarious if a random portal opened up. Sorry, my eyes are crapping out on me. The Rankin Bass version of Bilbo Baggins came waddling out, and a startled Hornth clubbed him to death, then asked who that was. Romulo Barona says WSP. I think that means what's up. I'm not sure. Or you know what? I'm not great with abbreviations. I always have to look them up on Google. I'll assume it's what's up. What's up, Romulo Barona? I'm also not good with pronouncing words, so I'll apologize for that. So one thing I just realized I didn't do is in the previous shot, I didn't do any animation on Marturtle. I usually have him blink and look around. We'll finish up her robot, and then we'll do Marturtle last. Okay, so
I do have one question for you though when it comes to like scripts, because I wanted to ask.
yeah, go ahead.
How many pages are your scripts? Because yeah, I struggle to get stuff into like 11 pages. I'll write and I'll write and I'll write. Like this is not going to be a 22-minute or 11-minute thing.
So I actually have two versions of this particular show, pilot-wise. I have it is exactly 11 pages, and then I have one that is 24 pages.
And which do you prefer, the longer or the shorter?
I want to do the longer. I like this. I mean, it depends, because this show is very great. It would be fine either way. When the 22-minute version, this was after I was consulting with that Adult Swim gal, and she essentially, her recommendation was to make it more of a kind of a whimsical, more Aqua Teen-y versus like a lot of lore, and the episodes kind of connect. So I have a version of this show with both. So I have a pilot written.
Yeah, that
That's
that's what I've heard is that like if you try and pitch a show that is very serialized, a lot of lore, and you haven't got like anything established,
yeah,
they're just not gonna like listen to you. They don't like people pitching they don't like people pitching a huge world with tons of stuff that like people aren't gonna be interested in.
yeah. Well, that's Adult Swim versus other networks do want that kind of stuff. They want 22-minute episodes, but for animation, a lot of them don't really want like the episodes to go into the next kind of a thing.
Yeah, they
They
don't.
still want episodes to end conclusively.
Yeah, Fox would want that. Fox like usually wants like 20. Yeah, usually Fox or Tubi, that kind of thing, wants like 22-minute animations that just like don't have like connection to any other episode other than just the characters and maybe a few references.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
it. They want like a Simpsons or Family Guy, but that's the one of the reasons why I think Fox is struggling so much to actually make compelling animated shows now. Because they always have a new show that comes out that lasts a few seasons that's meant to like be part of like the big four, like the Bob's Burgers, Family Guy, Simpsons, part of like the big three, not big four, big three, and every single time they put out a new show that's part of that like big trio, it always like gets cancelled later on. So you had like
Oh wait,
you had
no,
like
what?
yeah, there was one called The Great North, and there was another one. There's a whole bunch of them that keep coming out, and the most recent one, which is actually doing quite well, surprisingly, is this Universal Basic Guys show. It's got renewed for like a third season, which is crazy.
Yeah,
A lot of people don't like it,
no,
but it's doing
I
well.
was wrong, DJ. My 11-minute supposed to be 11-minute episode is 15 pages.
Yeah, it's how long an Aqua Teen page script is as well. They posted pictures of the script online
Yeah,
of certain episodes. What they would do as well is in those pictures they would like annotate and cut out certain lines. Again, they haven't actually posted any actual scripts of Aqua Teen online, just pictures of the pages. And yeah, I've seen they just annotate pages, cross stuff out,
yeah. Let's see, and then
which is
my
interesting.
where's the my
I
regular?
see if you can find a picture of it somewhere. But there was a picture I saw of one of the, I think it was like one of the season two episodes. They literally crossed out like different parts of the episode, like
So
rewrite certain scenes.
yeah, this is my actual pilot script. It's 32 pages, I guess. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Or 30. It's exactly 30 pages. Um yeah, one day we'll make it. Or I don't it depends cuz that's why I have two different versions. Like if it were ever to go to anything beyond YouTube, it's they will have criteria as to we want the show to have an 11-minute runtime versus 22-minute. We want it to have the lore and the world building versus we want it to be self-contained. So you never know.
The, the,
I
the
have
good
versions
news
prepared.
is the good news is if you want to make it exclusively for streaming, then the runtime doesn't really matter. If you're doing it for TV, then the runtime doesn't matter. But streaming, it doesn't really matter.
That's true. I mean, they still try and keep it with half-hour show versus hour show, but
Yeah, yeah, but I just mean in general, the runtime can be different if you're doing just a streaming show.
yeah.
Like, for example, like a lot of like modern dramas and things on HBO will sometimes be an hour, sometimes they'll be, and even some shows that are on TV, like Breaking Bad when it was airing, they'll have episodes that are 40 minutes, and then some that are like 50 and over an hour. It's
Yeah.
crazy how they got away with that.
Well, I think once you're as quality as the Breaking Bad artists, or when your show is proven, you get a lot of leeway. Or if you're just like a uh,
Proven talent.
proven talent, yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, the Adult Swim don't want anything like Breaking Bad, where it's like an actual like full-blown serious story, unless it's from a proven talent. So yeah, I mentioned last time the show Royal Crackers. The guy who made it, he tried to pitch it as like a Breaking Bad like style show. I think it was meant to be like a parody of Succession, which I've never seen, but it's like a businessy kind of show.
yeah.
And
I've seen an episode of it. It's good. I just haven't watched it.
it was supposed to be a parody of Succession. I think they pitched it more actually like Succession, but with a cracker company, and they were like, "Yeah, no, you've got to make it 11 minutes." episodic, more comedic, and then they were able to repitch it, and it actually got picked up. It only has 2 seasons, and people dogged on it because the animation style and the mean-spiritedness looked like a Fox show, like a really bad Fox show. And people watched it and were like, "No, we were wrong." That's the thing. People when 12 Ounce Mouse came out, which is a show that looks like it was drawn by like a kindergartner, people dogged on it as well, and they hated the art style. They're like, "Who would watch this? Why would you make this?" And now it's become like an ironic, like people loving that. I've watched all of 12 Ounce Mouse and I don't understand any of it, and it's like really weird. It's the weirdest show I've ever seen. It's just like a bunch of MS Paint drawing. There's like an eyeball, and like there's a million different plot twists about them being in a simulation. I have no idea what the story is.
Okay. Alex asks, is there a council of Herobots somewhere in the multiverse, like the Council of Reeds from Marvel or the Council of Ricks from Rick and Morty? I don't know. I don't think there's a council of Herobots. And then, has anyone in universe ever pointed out how 70s Marturtle's hairdo is? Marturtle's hair is a direct He-Man knockoff. And I'll tell you why that is. Because Marturtle is based off of my drummer, Marshall. And he has longer blonde hair. But it was it was a while ago. It was like 10 years ago. He got this haircut. And it was like it looked exactly like He-Man's hair. And he had it for a while. And it was hilarious. So when I drew Marturtle and I gave him the blonde hair, I wanted to go with the He-Man haircut. And then same with Herobot's dreadlocks. Herobot's based off of my bandmate Hiroki. And he actually had a dreadlock mullet at one point. Because when I first met him, he had like a full head of dreadlocks. And then he went down on this trip to like Brazil or something. And he got hot in the middle of the night. And he just decided to cut off all his dreadlocks on like his head and sides. But he didn't want to cut off the back. He didn't want to cut them all off. He was so hot in the middle of the night that he just cut off his top dreads and his side dreads, leaving him with a dreadlock mullet. And he rocked that for about a year. So that's where that hairstyle comes from. Yes, he should go as He-Man for Halloween. Okay. All right, that's that anecdote. I'm done.
Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. I was like pitching a Breaking Bad like show. Yeah, they don't want that. The network would want that. Probably Netflix. That's probably what worked best. Netflix would probably want a serious like animated show. Because so many of them are all the same like now. They're all like sitcoms like about a dad or something.
Yeah.
Or if it's not a sitcom about a dad, it's gonna be like a reskin of that where like it's the same sitcom dad thing, but now it's horror themed. Now they do like a reskin.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna look up. I'm gonna give his hands a little movement. Just a little bit of movement on the arms and body. Give the character like.
Also, who was the Adult Swim lady you met? Was it just someone who worked like an employee or something?
She was a coordinator there.
Oh, production coordinator.
Yeah.
It's interesting they said that they wanted like your thing to be more like Aqua Teen because they usually don't want anything like that. They just don't want anything similar to what they had already.
Yeah, I don't think she was very high up or anything. You know what? It was a consultation through a program that I did. It was a writers program called Roadmap Writers.
Right.
And if anybody ever wants to try and take their writing to like get it in front of some people, this is the program I would recommend to everyone. It's called, I don't know, I'm going to just post the link in the group chat. This program is fantastic. They've hooked up so many people with management and all these things, but I do not recommend doing this program if you're not already a serious writer. If you are already serious about writing and you have a few, like at least like 3 quality scripts that you're just trying to get in front of people. And they have.
Well, it's like a worldwide thing, or is it just like America?
It's worldwide. It's based in LA. Most of the people who run the company live in LA, but it's all over Zoom. So all of your meetings are. I mean, you can do in-person meetings too if you're living in LA, where a lot of the people live. But you go through, it's like a tiered structure program. Basically, they're taking you, assuming you're already a quality writer and you have good scripts, and they're basically refining your pitches, your written pitches, so you can send it out to companies, executives, and management people. And essentially, you go through these tiers. So the first one, you're just developing your pitches. Each tier is a month long, and you work with the people at Roadmap to help structure your presentation, basically. And yeah, you get good quality script notes, but really the point of the program is to develop your marketing skills as a writer, because you go through these 4 months, and then you submit your works, and then they basically will say, okay, you're ready for the top tier, where we will basically put all of our resources behind you to help you get management or get more traction with production companies. They have a endless source of connections. A lot of industry people go to this program to find new talent. And once you get into the top tier, they really put their resources behind you, and you get and you can do that for however long. And they have a lot of retreats where you can meet these people directly. People from all over the world do this program. People from the UK, people from Australia. It's just a lot of the meetings and the sessions will probably be in the middle of the night for you. Actually, one of the lady moderators is an Australian gal who lives I think she lives at Perth, and she just works overnight and it actually works for the program. She's a super nice lady. But yeah, if anyone's actually serious about getting their scripts looked at and developing your TV ideas, marketing yourself as a writer to get shows out there, that's the program I would recommend to everybody.
I kind of like struggle with writing. I want to write. I try and write. But yeah, I'll end up writing something and it's like 40 pages. I need to condense it down to 11. It's just difficult.
Yeah. My other buddy who's a writer, he works with us on a lot of the Lula Granji stuff, on the social media stuff. He's a fantastic... actually, John Schubert, he sometimes joins in the chat. He's a fantastic drama, action, geopolitical, sci-fi fantasy writer. His only problem is he can't write anything that doesn't have like a $300 million budget and has like a 180-page script. It's like everything he writes is so epic and expansive and huge universe, big lore. He's a fantastic writer, but everything he writes is like $300 million to produce.
One of his scripts could be used like for this couch shot. Like imagine they're watching like TV or something. It's
Yeah,
one of his,
exactly.
One of his films, like the most epic thing happening.
It's exactly.
Cut to them watching it.
He's really good writer though. He would be he's very much in the vein of like he looks like a George R. Martin kind of a guy. Like he's got this big beard, long hair. He reminds me of like Ronald D. Moore, who did Battlestar Galactica and a bunch of other stuff too.
That's fun. That's really fun. Probably gonna head out now.
Okay.
Leave you to it.
Yeah, sounds good.
Join the stream again.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be doing it tomorrow, which might be our. I was gonna maybe do a voice acting editing day, but if I can't get the DAW, the actual software to be live streaming and recording and all this kind of stuff, it's a technical problem I have to figure out, make sure it works. But tomorrow we're shifting to After Effects if you're feeling like joining. Usually I try to be consistent with the 3 p.m. my time, which is usually I guess 11 p.m. your time.
I think. Wait, where do you like live in the States? Is it LA?
Colorado.
Oh yeah, you said, I remember now. Yeah, who doing all that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 4:42, whereas over here it's 11:42.
Yep.
The time difference is insane.
It really is. All right, DJ,
Like
great.
5 p.m. it'll be midnight, but yeah, good night.
Yeah, great chatting with you again, man.
Bye.
Alex in the chat says he should go as He-Man for Halloween. Will Hornth ever be shaved? You mean his chest hair? Or his beard? So we're going to get a little more character animation on her robot, and then we're going to call it a day. But thanks everyone for joining again. All right. I realized the music cut off. All right, we're getting to our stopping point for the day. So I'm going to backtrack here with her robot. Just kind of go back through the... Here I have to cross his head over. And he's going to look out the other way. Head turns, body turns, never easy, but it's an important part. I have it rigged so... Ooh. I'll fix that. He is going to be hating his life in this moment. This is my life now. Rewriting. Oh. This is my life now, rewriting Hallmark films using my own dick. All right. What is the line? This is my life now. Rewriting Hallmark movies using my defense intelligence computer. It's my life now. Rewriting Hallmark movies. Using my defense intelligence computer that enslaved us. Give a little shoulder bump. Anybody have questions, concerns, comments? Will Hornth ever be shaved? I still haven't heard what you meant by that. I'm assuming you mean his chest hair. And if that's the answer, no. His chest hair is only going to get wilder. This is my life now. Rewriting Hallmark movies using my defense intelligence computer that enslaved us. And then he says, "Come on, distress signal." This is our last bit of animation. Other than, I'll do that tomorrow. He's gonna look back up at his distress signal. Enslaved us. Her robot's actually the easiest to animate out of all of them. He just does a lot of this, that. Come on. Come on, distress signal. Send us help. Let's give him a little arm movement. Send us help. Come on, distress signal. Alright. Come on, distress signal. Send us help. Come on, distress signal. Send us help. Usually I like to give his hair a little bump when he turns his head. Just gives it a little natural. Come on, distress signal. Send us help. We'll do the light on his mouth, and then we'll call it a day. So instead of a bunch of different talking positions, his mouth just lights up, and it makes it very easy for a robot talking. This is my life now. Rewriting Hallmark movies with my defense intelligence. Computer that enslave us. I found that at each syllable with the frame rate that I go, it usually always works out that just This is my life now. This is my life now. Let me give that a little bit more time. This is my life now. Then he says, come on, distress signal. Come on, distress signal. No. Send us help. Come on, distress signal. Send us help. That's it. We're done. The only thing I have left to do is some animation on Mark Turtle, have him blink, look around like a little bit of a doofus turtle. Beep, beep, beep. In fact, I have animation from last episode that I could probably just use. I might just do that now. Let's see. Let's look at Marshall's last episode animation. I might not need to do anything. Oh, yeah. I could probably just recycle. Yeah, we're just gonna use last episode's Mark Turtle animation and call it a day. I think I have him in front perspective, way down here. Yep. There, sure do. And looks around. Yep, we're just gonna use that. Okay. If you guys want to see how I export, I'll just export one character and then we'll call this. We're gonna export Buck. So I take off all this animation, background stuff. I export one character at a time. I'm gonna call this Buck Christmas 2025 1. We're gonna choose a folder. Buck. Folder. Buck. Thanksgiving. Oh wait, what am I? My brain's shutting down, everyone. Xmas 2025. I'm gonna create that. That's the overarching folder. Then I have to create another one inside because in case I have to export different versions. So it's 2025 1. Create that. Done. Okay. So we're gonna export frame. $72,550 is what we're gonna do. So I start him out on frame 70. I'm actually gonna give him that smoothing real quick and check over his animation. Smooth that out. Let's watch. Animation. Y'all hear something? Sounds like. So he's just looking at Hornth. He doesn't have a line in this shot. All right, that's it. We're gonna export 70 through 550. I'm getting him. That is Marshall calling right when I'm about to wrap up. Okay, make sure settings. Last thing of the day. 70 to 550. Then I'll have all these imported into After Effects for tomorrow, and we'll call it a day, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye.